Now, imagine, behind the thick doors of an ancient manor, behind shuttered windows, deep in the night, a group of men in black robes gathers around a symbolic altar. Candles flicker. One of them, blindfolded, holds his hand upon an ancient sword. What are they doing? What ritual is taking place? And, most importantly, why has this been silenced for centuries? Today, we will look where outsiders are usually not permitted, into a world where the truth is hidden under layers of legend and conspiracy, into the world of Masonic Lodges. History, context, lay in the groundwork. The Freemasons, a word that evokes fascination in some, fear in others, and in some, laughter. But few know that beneath this name lies something much deeper. Officially, Freemasonry is a fraternity that originated in the 17th century. Initially, they were ordinary stonemasons, builders who constructed cathedrals, temples, and fortresses. They were the architects of the divine, their hands shaping the very stone that reached for the heavens. They possessed guarded knowledge of geometry and architecture, the sacred secrets of their craft. But then, something shifted. This brotherhood began to transform into something greater, from the hands of builders into the hands of ideological leaders, philosophers, bankers, and politicians. They began to call themselves Freemasons. But what is this freedom? And why is it so often associated with secrets? The transformation from operative to speculative masonry was not a sudden coup, but a gradual evolution. As the great cathedral-building era waned, the lodges began accepting men who were not practicing stonemasons, men of learning, influence, and means. These accepted masons saw in the tools and symbols of the craft powerful allegories for building one's character and improving society. The compass, square, and trowel were no longer just physical tools. They became moral instruments. The Temple of Solomon was no longer a physical structure to be built, but a symbolic, perfect society to be striven for. This was the birth of modern Freemasonry, a philosophical and moral society born from the guilds of working men. First and foremost are the symbols. If you've ever seen the all-seeing eye in a triangle, the compass in square, or the letter G on a Masonic ring, these are theirs. But what do they mean? The symbolism is a language unto itself, designed to convey complex ideas without words. The all-seeing eye is often interpreted as the eye of God, a reminder that a Mason's thoughts and deeds are always observed by the great architect of the universe. It represents divine providence and the constant pursuit of truth. The compass and square are perhaps the most recognizable symbols. The compass, which draws circles, represents the spiritual and the eternal, the realm of thought and virtue. The square, which measures right angles, represents the material world, earthly conduct, morality, and square dealing with others. Together, they symbolize the balance between the spiritual and physical, between the divine aspirations of man and his duties in the material world. Then there is the enigmatic letter G. To some, it stands for God, the great architect. To others, it represents geometry, the fifth science, and the foundation of architecture, revered as a divine language that orders the universe. For others still, it signifies gnosis, the secret knowledge accessible only to the initiated. This single letter encapsulates the core of the Masonic mystery. Is it a spiritual fraternity, a philosophical school, or a repository of esoteric wisdom? The answer may be all three, depending on the lodge and the individual. To become a Freemason, one must undergo an initiation ceremony. In some lodges, A ritual is still used where the candidate stands blindfolded, with his left knee bared and his left breast exposed. He places his hand on a sacred text, a Bible, a Quran, or another holy book, sometimes accompanied by a dagger or an ancient manuscript. He is asked a series of questions and swears an oath to keep everything secret. But the most interesting thing is that despite all the bans, persecutions, and scandals, Freemasonry still exists, and it thrives. Today, you can find websites of Masonic Lodges. They say, "We are open, we are not hiding." But why are there still levels that are not spoken of? Why, in some countries, can politicians still not be Masons officially? And what happens at the highest degrees, where only a few are admitted? The public face of Freemasonry is one of charity and community. Yet, the private core remains ritualistic and secretive. This duality is the source of its enduring mystery. The secrecy serves multiple purposes. It binds members together through a shared, privileged experience. It protects the ritual's symbolic power from being diluted by public scrutiny. And it maintains an aura of mystery that has proven to be a powerful recruiting tool for centuries. Some believe it is merely a club for older men, with a philosophical bent. But there are also those who are sure it is the key to understanding who and how manages the world. So who are they, really? Ordinary people in aprons who drink tea and read morals, or an elite that pulls the strings behind the scenes of politics, finance, and culture? Masonic Lodges, truth or fiction? It seems we have only scratched the surface. Because behind every answer lies another question. And what if their knowledge really works and is used not for good? In the next installment, we will talk about one of the most forbidden Masonic rituals, the one that, according to legend, allows one to awaken in this reality. And now, think about it. Are you absolutely sure you haven't seen this symbol on someone's hand? On a ring? On a building's cornerstone? On the back of a dollar bill? The symbols are all around us. The real secret is not what they do in their lodges, but the influence their ideas have already had on the world we live in. The question is, do you want to see it?